You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Comic Book News Show, where I'll be talking about comic book news. It's the twist you never saw coming. It's the M. Night Shyamalan of comic book news programs. These stories that I'm going to be talking about tonight, DC, Marvel, and Indie, I got from the Newsarama site, so shout out to them. I'm going to start, as I always do, with DC Comics. And if you're wondering about the 3 books that were announced that had all the kids talking down at the Five and Dime, of course, I'm talking about Spirit World, City Boy, and The Vigil. I already talked about those on a separate news program. I will link in the show notes if you want to go and listen to that. But that allows me to bitch and moan about other things. And we're going to start with this. DC brings back Batman Brave and the Bold in comics ahead of the new movie. I don't know that it's that integral to be with that movie connection. That's probably for a while now. We'll see. But I think that this fills in a slot of a recently canceled book, but in my mind has the potential to be even better. And by the end of this news story, I will let you know what I think this book should be. And if you're sitting there thinking, who the hell are you? I will just tell you, stop stalking me. Here is the news item. The series launches in May with a jam-packed issue full of 4 stories told by all-star creative teams in a 64-page oversized issue. A lot of people have already brought it up. I agree. This sounds a lot like a reskinning of the Batman Urban Legends book. We'll see. Hopefully, it can maintain a little longer than the Urban Legends book. The Urban Legends book kind of petered out. Each new issue and each new arcs of stories just seemed more and more watered down. So you got to the end that nobody was caring about it. Not even the kids down at the rec center were talking about that book anymore. Here's what we're going to get from this book. And by the end, again, I'll let you know what I think it should be. And you can decide on your own if this is what you really need out of a Brave and the Bold anthology book at this moment. First up, there's Eisner-winning creative team Tom King and Mitch Gerads of Mr. Miracle fame, who will reunite for a flashback story that tells of the first meeting between Batman and the Joker. Now, we'll unpack this one a little bit. I'm not a fan of Tom King. He has his fans. Do we need Tom King on any sort of Batman things anymore? I saw people who were even diehard Tom King fans at the end of that Killing Time book saying, please, I don't need any more Tom King on Batman. And yet here we are. Plus, combine it with a Batman and a Joker story. What's going on here? We already have Deadly Duel. We have a Joker book and that Joker Who Stopped Laughing by Matthew Rosenberg, that garbage. So why do we need this bit? This is not anything unique anymore. It's not even exciting to think of, oh my God, a Batman and the Joker story. Holy moly. Really? That's what you're going to come out with? And again, Tom King and Mitch Gerads have their fans. I'm not one of them. I said I don't like Tom King's writing at all. And if he's going to be the lead on this, please change it from Batman the Brave and the Bold to Batman the Miserable and the Suicidal. That would probably be more telling. I'm going to hit the rim shot for that one. Oh, my. Mitch Gerads, I know, again, as his fans, I don't like him. And I'm not talking about his art. His art's okay. It's one of those that I tend to get a little bit, as the series goes on, I get bored with it. That's me being the honest to God truth there. But I don't like him. And this is more of his social media presence, but he really plays off as Tom King's big brother who's going to come in and stop all the people that are saying mean things about his little chum, Tom. And it just comes off as just eye-rolling. It's cringy at times, and I just don't like his jerk-off face. That's honesty right there. And this is the thing. These are the things that you can say when you really don't care what anybody thinks of you. And I'm not trying to get a job at DC. I don't want to have a beer with Mitch Gerads. I don't drink, and if I did, I wouldn't drink with him. So what do I care? I don't like his jerk-off face. There you go. But a Batman Joker story? All right, and that's the first thing. So, okay, there you go. That's the marquee story. So what are we going to get besides that? Okay, here we go. Then there's a story which features the writing debut of current superstar artist Dan Mora. Okay, I like Dan Mora. I love his art. And really, he deserves to be able to be a writist, as I say, because he's so damn good with the art. And he has an entry here, Batman Black and White short story series. I like the Batman Black and White. You're dinging all the things for me. I'm going to ding these, right? Yeah. In which a cyberpunk Gotham is overrun by the Joker with only a motorcycle driving Batman. We have 2 Batman Joker stories to start this off. Woo-wee. All right. Well, there you go. This isn't quite the concept that I have for the book, but that's maybe why I'm not, leading the charts. I don't know. After that is a story by Ed Brisson and artist Jeff Spokes, who pick up the threads of their Stormwatch story in the recent Wildstorm 30th anniversary special. Okay. That makes more sense. Try to get this more steam going for the Stormwatch story. I'm telling you, a Stormwatch book seems cool, but an actual Stormwatch book is not going to sell. That's just, my little prediction, but it's cool to have it in an anthology deal, and maybe people can get excited about. It focuses on this new iteration of Stormwatch, and it's a wacky team, I'll tell you. If you haven't read that Wildstorm 30th anniversary special, I'm not going to tell you the story is great. I'm not even going to tell you it's good. It was a little confusing, but, man, that's a crazy team, led by the mysterious Director Bones. Oh, my God, he's smoking it up, that guy. All right, so, okay, we got something a little different with the Stormwatch story, right? We start with 2 Batman Joker stories. Now we get a Stormwatch. All right. Finally, there's a story which marks the DC debut of writer Christopher Cantwell, who is joined by artist Javier Rodriguez for a segment starring Superman as the Man of Steel delves into his mystery, a mystery from his past. And, okay, it's different. But do we need a Superman story and from Christopher Cantwell? I'm not a fan of Christopher Cantwell. If you listen to our Marvel stuff, I really don't like his writing. And the funny thing is, I have said for a while, I got made fun of at the beginning. But some people came my way. I think that Christopher Cantwell is 100% Tom King light. And it worked when he was over at Marvel. But having him at DC in a anthology book, an issue with Tom King himself, I think that this is going to end up, I don't know. That's crossing the streams to me, and that is not good. I've seen Ghostbusters. They warn you about that. Maybe the editors and the heads at DC did not see Ghostbusters. I don't know, but maybe they should. Batman the Brave and the Bold #1 goes on sale May 16th. Now, what I think this book should be, I kind of alluded to it already. You end up having Batman the Brave and the Bold. You're putting Batman in the title because Batman sells. So you're already saying, okay, it's going to sell because it has Batman there. Then you start off with that main Batman story. Tom King and Mitch Gerads, whether I like them or not, they're big names. I mean, they are. They're Eisner Award winners. Well, so's Mariko Tamaki, so we're not going to get that excited about it, but that's something to put out there. And so there, okay, you have that. Then the other things, start giving us an Animal Man story. Give us the Atom story. Give us, I don't know, Phantom Stranger. I'm just throwing things at you again. You can have a Mixoplex. I just throw some obscure things. And I say obscure, and I know some people get mad at that, but I say obscure meaning post-Rebirth and newer readers. You have to introduce these characters, and this is a great way. You fool them into it by getting them the Batman story, and then all of a sudden they didn't realize. It's like edutainment. You didn't even realize that you were being taught a lesson here because it's so damn fun. And edutainment always works out. It always works. The kids love it. So, but that's the backdoor way of doing it. And again, it's not really sexy, but maybe it is. You backdoor the shit out of this. You get all those other characters where you can get the excitement going. You can get people, and you can make it as a litmus test of what would work. Maybe you end up having a story with, say, Etrigan, right? And people don't give a crap because he's nonsense. He's rhyming and stealing. The kids don't like that nowadays. So then you check that off. Etrigan's a no. But then maybe, just maybe, you throw in a story about, I'm trying to think of something, the Newsboy Legion. Oh my God, it becomes the big hit. That's what you need to do. I don't know that that's what we're getting here with 2 Batman Joker stories, but believe me, I think it could work out well. It's almost like a DC Comics Presents, but you get to put Batman in the title, so there. That's my little 2 cents about it, and I'm not that smart, so it's like a half a cent. It's a wheat penny, maybe. The next deal is Marvel. We'll go to 2 stories from Marvel here. Marvel's Summer of Symbiotes expands with Cold of Carnage Misery. Anytime I see Symbiotes now, it is kind of misery to me. They say it's going to be the summer of symbiotes. It's like the 3 years of symbiotes. In my mind, I am symbioted out. I declared on our Marvel podcast that I have fully become symbioted out. I'm done. But again, I will be reading and reviewing these, but hopefully it gets my interest peaked. This story, maybe not. Marvel's Summer of Symbiotes initiative is heating up with another new Carnage-centric story, Cult of Carnage Misery, which revives the previous Cult of Carnage title from several years ago. Marvel has this big thing of really naming things, stuff from the past, and sometimes it gets real annoying. And I'll tell you, when you're reviewing things and maybe looking up stuff, it's a real pain in the ass when you look up stuff like Heroes Reborn. And you're like, oh, not that one. The newer, more bullshit one is what I want to know about. And you finally find it. This is written by Sabir Perzada with art from Francisco Mortorino. Cult of Carnage Misery arrives in May alongside the start of the Carnage Reigns crossover, which pits Carnage against Miles Morales on the 30th anniversary of the classic 90s story Maximum Carnage. The limited series runs for 4 issues. All right, it's not getting me yet. In the case of Cult of Carnage Misery, the focus is on Red Goblin and his connection to Carnage, specifically on longtime Spider-Man supporting cast member Liz Allen, who is the mother of current Red Goblin Normie Osborn. And I ended up doing the review for Red Goblin #1, and I liked it. It surprised me. I actually did like it more than I thought I would, but there was a comment on the video at least, where they laughed because every time I said Normie Osborn and they didn't, I said that. I even replied that it makes me feel silly every time I say Normie Osborn. But after they commented, it does make me laugh every time I say Normie. It's kind of funny. Here's the solicit. Liz Allen is the mother of Normie Osborn. See, I already started laughing when I saw him. Who she is blissfully unaware is the all-new and all-deadly Red Goblin. But what Liz does know is that the Red Goblin has been active and has been seen very close to her home. So what they are saying, very, kind of read between the lines here. Liz is an awful mother who's kind of dumb. That's what it seems that they're saying. They may not be, but that's what I got from that. Anything symbiote, anything Summer of Symbiote, I'm not going to even say that I'm going to have to wait and see if I get back my symbiote groove. It's like Stella gets her symbiote back. I don't know. Maybe I have to go down to like Jamaica or something to get it. Maybe that is my excuse to go to Jamaica. We'll see. Oh my. The next story is new Edge of SpiderVerse title arrives just in time for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Anybody need this? I thought that the Spider-Verse was going to be dead. That's what I thought Dan Slott was doing. But what this does feel like are the prequels to the Dan Slott story that he's telling now. Those issues that kept coming out that were, giving you all those new characters in the Edge of Spider-Verse stuff. So I don't know. People were already pissed off about those. So I don't know that this is going to do well. But maybe the excitement for the movie, which I do think will do well, will get people fired up. The Spider-Verse is back this May in the new Edge of Spider-Verse anthology limited series, featuring a whole host of new stories featuring different Spider heroes from around Marvel's multiverse, just in time for the upcoming Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse animated movie. Now, I already talked, obviously, about the Batman Brave and the Bold, where you get that first issue. Oh, man, what are they going to get out of the gate? Now, I did make fun of some of the things, got mad at others, but Tom King, Mitch Gerards, Dan Mora, even a Christopher Cantwell, and, they're big enough. You have that deal. But here's what we get from the first issue of this Edge of Spider-Verse deal. I don't know that this is an all-star creative team cast. Just me. But this time, Edge of Spider-Verse #1 brings back the dinosaur Spider-Man, Spider-Rex, to fight a full-on dino Venom named, and so original, Venomsaurus. Venomsaurus. Yeah. And a story from writer Carlo Pacheco and artist Perry Perez. Carlo Pacheco cracks me up. The whole deal with that Spider-Woman book, I'm not going to tell you it was good. It was interesting. And while I thought that a lot of it was nonsense, there was always something that made me laugh while I read it. So I'm not going to tell you that means anything, but I'm just telling you, this might be interesting. But I don't know. Do we need Venomsaurus? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Then writer-artist Xander Cannon. Great name, Xander Cannon. That is an awesome name, right? Introduces the scariest spider character ever created. What? 8-legged freaks? Would that be called a spider character? Is that a cast of 1,000? I don't know. That terrifying character is named the Spider Killer. Now I need to talk and say, what is less original? The Spider Killer or Venomsaurus? And I'll also give you one thing. If it was Spider Killer, like Ghostface Killer, then I'd be in. But Killer, I don't know. And then it's just, that's all we know about that. Spider Killer. Then in the final announced story in the new 2023 Edge of SpiderVerse #1, writer David Hine, known for his hit Broadway show Come From Away, sounds sexy. I mean, seriously. Reunites, I gotta get to that. Is that actually on Broadway, or is it one of those deals where, like, the screen goes, I don't know. I shouldn't talk about those. You knock on the wall and stuff. Reunites with artist Luciano Vecchio to bring back another of the breakout characters from the 2022 Edge of SpiderVerse Limited series, and that is Spintress. I don't like the way this is written. See the most magical spider hero of them all as she sings her way into the biggest fight of her life, reads Marvel's official description of the Spintress story. Marvel also promises much, much more. Oh my. And then they say, I love this, you'll never guess what other creators and spiders will show up. Well, I'll start telling you. T. Franklin will be coming up with their character. And, I mean, really, just go and look at the list of characters that we had already. If we end up getting Peter Parker, I'll lose my mind. Jason will laugh, I'll lose my mind. And that's what they're saying. But seriously, do we need more of this? Do we need more of this crap? Maybe. I don't know. I don't, but maybe some people do. But the last bit, we're going to go to indie. Now, this is cool. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter coming this May. That's awesome, right? Publisher IDW has announced the 5-issue miniseries will launch in May 2023. Written by Paul Allore, the series will feature art by Ariel Medel and colors by Sarah Meyer. The story picks up as the Turtles arrive in Atlantic City for a fighting tournament where, naturally, they run into the Street Fighter crew. As long as they don't end up in Wildwood. Atlantic City's fine. I'm from the Philadelphia area. I spent a lot of time as a kid in Atlantic City. That was cool. A lot of people called it Kitty City, but I didn't mind because I was a little kid. Then later on in life, I thought, man, I'm cool. I'm going to go to Wildwood. I went to Wildwood and got that crap kicked out of me by a gang of young toughs. And I say that I'm serious. There was like 10 of them. I didn't start the fight. My buddy did. My buddy started a fight with one of these guys. They fought one-on-one. I don't know why the rest of them decided to just beat the crap out of me, but they did. And so, yeah, don't go to Wildwood is what I'm saying. It was nasty times there. But I fought back. I took a couple guys down. I'm not going to say like one of those where you would look at me and say, man, I'd hate to see the other guy. Because really, the other guys, they didn't have as big a welts and bruises that I did. But I got a couple. And their legendary psycho-powered fighting forms. See, this is how the stories continue. The plot thickens with a wave of disappearances around the town and some mystery around the tournament's benefactors. There you go. You could say to me, you could give me the title, the headline. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter coming this May. And then in the story, you can say blah, 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 and I still want to get it. It sells itself. It does. So don't worry about me in Wildwood as a youngster. Don't worry about that. Go and get this book. Don't take the book. Don't make it seem like the book was responsible, because it was not. It was my friend. He was the jerk. And it was one of those, like, who are you looking at type of deals. Like, really? That's why we're fighting here? Because somebody looked over at you? Oh, that's great. That's the stuff, the fights of youth, right? So that is it. That is it for the show. Got a little wacky. I will tell you, as an aside, that this is like, I don't know how many times I tried to record this. It may have been 30. It was going so bad for me. And then I just thought to myself, screw it. Let's just do it. Roll it. Roll the camera. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. And away we went. It is now like 3 a.m. I should have been in bed hours ago, but I didn't want to go to bed until I finished this, and that's why I got wacky. But hey, thanks a lot. Thanks Thanks a lot. It sounded like I was angry at anybody still watching. But I'm not. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for everything. And I will bid you adieu, but I will be here next week to talk about more comic book news. Hopefully Normie's in there, and hopefully we have some things to have fun with once again, which we always find some fun. So thanks, everybody, and I'll talk to you all later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.